गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in chapter 10 of Jnaneshwari. Having completed the introduction in the two classes, now we get into the text, the verses, and here in the first verse, the verse goes, Shri Bhagavan Bhuya eva mahabhaho Shruну me paramam vachah Yatteham priyamanaya Vakshyami hita kamyaya. He says, Bhuya eva mahabhaho Shrunu me paramam vachah. He's bringing the attention of the Lord. He says once again, O mighty armed Arjuna, Mahabaho, listen to my supreme utterance. Pravakshami. Pravakshami is whatever he's communicating to him. And listen to my supreme utterance, which desiring your good, I shall speak to you who are pleased with it. Lot of things are told in this verse. Lot of things. First is the invocation. Once again, hear the word when he says, Yat. So when he says that this knowledge which I am going to give you, once again, when he uses the word once again, from before, means this is not something new theme that I am introducing to you. It was already told to you in chapter 7. What was that chapter? What was the theme? That of the knowledge, that of the Brahman, that of the reality. And Mahabaho. Mahabaho, why? Because he is invoking out of Arjuna the greatness. Who is Mahabaho? Not with the frozen shoulder. Mahabaho means who is ever inspired to do good for the others. Mahabaho is he who is able to expand his vision in spite of all the difficulties. So, by reminding Arjuna that, "Hey Mahabaho, hey great one, oh mighty armed one," meaning nothing can, if you decide, nothing is impossible for you. You see? When a teacher says like that to someone, to a student, student, even though he may be great in his own right, but when his teacher tells him that, he feels very good. That it's a recognition. It's a word of inspiration. And then Shrunu me paramam vachaha. Shrunu. Shrunu what? Listen. Paramam vachaha, the bestest of my speech. Paramam vachaha, the highest speech that I am going to give you. Why? See, here it is the Lord speaking, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. If Bhagavan is the Ishwar, what is his Vibhuti? His Vibhuti is his expression. What is his first expression? Either you can say it is his Shri, the Shakti, the power, the Maya Shakti, that is his Vibhuti, isn't it? It has come out of him only. Or we can say, another way of putting it is, his speech is his Vibhuti. because first came the word. Huh? And same thing, just like from Ishvara the speech is coming out, similarly out of Arjuna the greatness of his ability to accomplish anything in life is being invoked by the Lord through his speech. See, Paramam Vacha. I'm going to tell you the highest. Why should I tell you? Why should I tell you? And why you should listen? So here it says, Priyamanaya. Priyamanaya, because you are such a student, you are like hanging on to every word that I am saying. You are so inspired to listen to what I am saying. You are interacting with it so alertly, and therefore he is asking the pertinent questions also. He says, because you are so happy, you are so eager to listen to me, and therefore I want to speak to you. See, the teacher automatically gets, Jnaneshwar Maharaj said the same thing, isn't it? The teacher's inspiration to speak is directly proportional to the interest of the student to listen. Teacher can remain without speaking or with speaking. It does not matter to him. Who will benefit by the speaking? The student, isn't it? So when an eager student is there in the class, we all went to school, so you must know, those who were very eager, those who were very interested, those who applied to themselves, the teacher used to ask them again and again or give them extra attention, and we were all left aside. But there were other subjects where we were interested and others were not. So there the teachers gave us the attention, isn't it? Priyamanaya Vakshami, I will speak this highest truth. So Shrunu is listen to my highest message, my words, and I am going to tell you. Why am I going to tell you? Hita kamyaya, because I want in my heart, looking at you, seeing you, interacting with you, I feel my heart is just outpouring and wants to give you this knowledge. See how beautiful that the teacher, the Lord, the teacher, is giving. You don't want it, but he wants to give it to you. Why? Because the love that he has for his disciple. See, if we can find such a teacher who wants to give knowledge unasked, knows what is right at what needs to be given at a particular time, fantastic, isn't it? But for that we have to become like Arjuna. Total surrender. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj, with that just a small introduction to the verse, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, आम्ही मागील जे निरूपण केले ते तुझे अवधानची पाहिले तवटाचे नवे भले पुरते आहे. He says, now I tried to assess how well you listened to what I told you so far. I am now assured that you gave adequate attention to what I said. This is Jnaneshwar Maharaj is expanding the whole thing. He's creating a drama where there is no drama. He's creating a story. He is thinking that this must have happened. This is how he must have said, without diluting the message. घटी थोडेसे उदक घालिजे तेणे न गळे तरी वरिता भरिजे ऐसा परिसौनी पाहिलासी तव परिसविजे ऐसेची होतसे अवचित यावरी सर्वस्व सांडिजे मग चोख तरी तोची भांडारी कीजे तैसा किरीटी तू आता माझे निजधाम की ऐसे अर्जुना येऊते सर्वेश्वरे पाहोनी बोलिले अत्यादरे, गिरी देखोनी सुभरे, मेघु जैसा. तैसा कृपाळू वाचारावो, म्हणे आईके गा महाबाहो. सांगितलाची अभिप्रावो, सांगेन पुढती. प्रतिवर्षी क्षेत्र परिजे, पिकाची जवजव वाढी देखिजे. या लागी नुबगिजे, वाहो करिता. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, just as one puts a little water in an earthen pot to see whether it leaks before filling it up, so I made sure that you were attentive to my small talk, and now I felt like telling you more. This is an art. This is an art. Even with the children, you don't straight away ask when you're doing a quiz or something. You start with small quizzes, simple, to inspire them, that they are able to understand. Slowly open a little bit more, then open a little bit more, and then you keep making it difficult. You saw those the children's, the spelling bee competition that went on. You saw that on TV? Fantastic. It began with all very simple things, but whenever any stage was to be crossed, how difficult, we also couldn't answer. But who could answer? Only who is qualified to answer, isn't it? So in that manner, and therefore, because you have excelled in understanding what I have told you till now, you have continued to show keen interest in what I am telling. You have not lost your inspiration कि यार वही चीज़ रिपीट कर रहा है, this is too esoteric, this is too hi-fi, this is going over my head. Never once you have expressed in that manner, not even by expression. Therefore, I feel that I must give you more. I must tell you more because you deserve it. Not only you deserve it, but more than deserving, I feel like telling you. जब प्यार उमड़ जाता है तो when you feel overwhelmed with love for someone, you just go and hug that person, isn't it? Then you don't work out, acha, this time will be good or that time will be good. Or you just phone or you tell them that, hey, You test a newly appointed servant by seeing whether he picks up things lying about and then put him in charge of the treasury. So you have already become a treasure house of my knowledge. Even as a cloud swells and overflows after seeing the mountain, so Lord Krishna glanced at Arjuna with great affection. Then Lord Krishna, the ocean of mercy, said, O mighty armed Arjuna, I shall repeat my view to you, which I had already told you earlier. Even though one reaps an abundant harvest by tilling the soil every year, one should not feel tired of doing so, or one should purify by heating the gold over and over again as it improves its luster. Therefore, O Partha, I am repeating my talk not to oblige you, but for my own satisfaction. The Lord is saying, I am telling you this not to do any service to you. It's because it makes me feel satisfied. It gives me joy to tell you. So here he says, पुढत पुढती पुटे देता जोडे वानियेची अधिकता म्हणवनी सोने पंडुसुता शोधूनची आवडे तैसे एथ पार्था तुझ आभार नाही सर्वथा आम्ही आपुलियाची स्वार्था बोलो पुढती जैसे बाळका लवविजे लेणे तया शृंगारा बाळकाई जाणे परिते सुखाचे सोहणे भोगणे माऊलिये दिठी तैसे तुझे हित आघवे जव जव का तुझ फावे तव तव आमुचे सुख दुणावे ऐसे आहे. आता अर्जुना असो हे विकडी, मज उघड तुझी आवडी, म्हणवनी तृप्तीची सवडी, बोलता. That is not, then nothing can be gained in this life. The teacher, like Krishna, he must feel for the student. Then knowledge gets transferred. Knowledge does not get transferred through books. Knowledge does not get transferred through words. Words, your ears are there. So many people are speaking. What goes and stays inside of you? Whose words go and stay inside you or make an impact on you? Those people who you love, isn't it? Only those people whom you have given value and attention. And if that person speaks in a wrong way, that hurts you. If that person says positively, it makes you feel good. If that person says loving words, it makes you feel even better, isn't it? But you become available to the person whom you have placed in your heart. What better place when a teacher has place for you in his heart? When the Lord has a place for you in his heart. See? Recognize this. It's like, I'll give you another vision. It's not, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is not saying, but it's similar line. The ocean has given a place for a wave in his heart and is nurturing it from inside. Because the wave cannot be outside the ocean, isn't it? Wave is nothing but part and parcel of the ocean. But that ocean has now manifested in the form of a teacher or Lord Krishna here. And he's saying, because I feel so much love for you, I just can't stop but share this knowledge. And what makes the student and the teacher inspired? When he sees that the wave is giving up its waveness and slowly coming to recognize that it is essentially the ocean. Isn't it? That how much inspired the teacher will be then. See, this is the growth. In yoga, we come to realize the self in ourselves. In Vibhuti, we come to realize the Lord in and through the creation. Vibhuti is his manifestation. Vibhuti is his Shakti. That Shakti is the goddess Shri, his wife. That Shakti, his manifestation, is his speech. When we realize that everything that we speak is our manifestation of the self, then we'll be very careful what we speak, isn't it? And what will come out? What will come out of your mouth? Only that which you hold very dear and are convinced of in your mind, isn't it? So spiritual journey as a sadhak is to reform your mind so that it starts thinking like the scriptures. Not starts thinking like the world wants you to think, but the thoughts of scriptures remain paramount as the continuous theme in our mind. Because the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita or other Upanishads and all, these are the words of the divine. His own speech, his own vibhuti. His speech is a vibhuti. See how beautiful, if you take it that way. Ocean is saying, because I have a place for you in my heart, I feel very dear, because he doesn't see him as separate. So here the Lord is saying the same way. Then, आम हा ये तुलियाची कारणे तेची ते तुझशी बोलणे परी असो हे अंतःकरणे अवधान देई तरी एके गा सुवर्म वाक्य माझे परम जे अक्षरे लेऊनी परब्रह्म तुझ खेवासी आले परी किरीटी तू माते ते नेणसी ना निरुते तरी तो गाजो मी येथे ते विश्वची हे न मे विदु सुरगणा प्रभवम then the Sanskrit verse began. I am singing that also. So here he says, where are we? Therefore, I am appealing to you the same thing over and over again. So, hear with concentration, O discerning Arjuna, listen to my excellent talk. These are not mere words, but in this form, it is the absolute truth which has come to hold you in its loving embrace. But you have not yet known my real nature. You see me here in flesh and blood, but I am really this whole universe. This is the mistake that we make with our teachers, with Mahatmas, with realized masters when we interact with them. See? So Arjuna has been listening with concentration. He is reminding of that again. Oh, listen to my excellent talk. Is that an egoistic statement by the Lord? Listen to my excellent talk. अपने मुंह मियाँ मिट्टू, huh? Who is Lord? What is the difference between Lord and us at this level? We have a antahkaran. What is antahkaran? Memory, intellect, ego and mana, mind. So mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Huh? Does Lord have antahkaran? No. He doesn't have an ego. He doesn't have memories. And yet he knows everything. See? Meaning what? Lord is knowing everything, past, present, future. But he's not caught up. We are caught up. We take ownership of our past. Lord doesn't take ownership of anything because he is everything. Nothing is impossible for him. So here when he says that my excellent talk, when will the excellent speech come out of your mouth? If speech is the vibhuti, if speech is the manifestation of what?
Divinity.
Of divinity, right? But now in us, what is coming between divinity and our speech?
Ego. Man, buddhi, chitta.
What is coming in between our speech and ourselves? Ourself is our mind, right? Our memories, our convictions, our ideas, our imaginations, our doership and enjoyership. And the more we melt this antahkaran away, then to that extent our speech will become more and more
Divine.
purified, isn't it? Therefore, when a Mahatma says something, it happens, and we say 10 times, it doesn't happen. See? This is the reason. So, idea is not that we have to impose our will on someone else. No. The more your antahkaran gets dissolved, to that extent, you become lovable to one and all without any reason. Your presence itself is loving. Your speech itself is loving. Because there is no flavor of arrogance or ego there. See? That is why a child even says something to the parents. Parents don't feel bad about it because they know this fellow has got no memory, he has got no intellect, he is still growing, he is still a child. If the child spits on you, you may, but you don't hate that person, you don't feel bad about it if it is a very small child. If he vomits, if he does, defecates on you, you don't feel bad because you know there is no ego in there. There is no memory in there. There is no right and wrong in there. Therefore you accept him, isn't it? A realized master is also like that. There is no memory, there is no ego, and therefore he moves around in the world. Nityanand Swami from the Ganesh Puri you heard in outside Bombay. He used to walk 6.5 feet tall Keralite, and he used to walk naked. People didn't understand, but those who understood, then they started, oh. He was like a small 6.5 feet tall child. He used to throw stones at people. He used to defecate while walking. No body identification. Anywhere he's sitting, he'll start shoo-shoo, no problem. But people didn't feel bad. People didn't feel, oh, how can that be? Hey, such a grown man and he's doing like this. Once Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was there, and you must have heard this story before. One mother came and she says, Swami, please tell my child not to eat gulab jamun, rasgulla. He says, come after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks he came. He says, son, don't eat rasgulla. The mother got disturbed. I came from so far away, and you sent me again and you made me spend so much money and bring me back again, my child. Why couldn't you have said this sentence first time I came? He said, that time I was eating rasgulla. At least give me 2 weeks so that I don't touch that thing, then my words will have power. You see? What do you normally speak? What is that which you normally speak? Whatever you are convinced about, whatever you have experienced in life, isn't it? Whatever is your take on life, that is what will come out of your mouth. But those are all opinions, those are all ideas. But if our mind is continuously thinking of the divine, continuously open to the divine knowledge, through satsang, through sadhana, etc., our antakaran is dissolving. And as it starts dissolving, where you have no opinions, you have got no judgments, you have got nothing to achieve, then what will come out? What is meant to come out, isn't it? Mirror doesn't decide, now I'm going to reflect this and I'm going to reflect that. Whatever comes in front of it, it reflects. We also, the manifestation of the speech is a reflection of whatever has to happen at that moment. But this is a special moment. Who's standing in front of him? Will Lord speak to empty space? Will a teacher speak to empty room? Someone needs to be there in front. What is the patra? What quality is that container into whom it is to be poured? What is the quality of that container? And looking at, after 9 chapters, Krishna is saying, you are the best container and I am in love with you because I am seeing how you are growing, I am seeing how you are expanding, I am seeing how you are dissolving. And therefore, I want to, because I see the greatness in you and your capacity to keep this knowledge in yourself and realize it, I am pouring out everything that I have to you. How beautiful! How beautiful! So here we see a great speech Hmm? Our speech, most of the time, what do we talk about? About the world, about the children, about all the paraphernalia. But what is Paramam Vacha? What is Paramam Vacha? That speech which talks about the greatest, Paramam. What is Paramam? The infinite reality, the Brahman.